Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, our theme is AI for Teams. And so I wanted to give you 5 tips on how to use AI with Teams. Now, what do I mean by Teams? Well, some of you might be saying, well, I don't have any employees, but maybe you have a VA. Maybe you have one VA. Maybe you have 5 VAs. VAs are actually, for small businesses, kind of the way to go. You don't have to worry about all this other stuff. And there's VAs that you can get from literally around the world to fit just about whatever you need. There's GHL experts, there's website experts, there's social media experts, general administration. If you need a VA to come in a couple hours a week and clean out your email for you, there's so many types of VAs that are out there that can take those extra things off of your plate so you can stick to your core genius, that thing that you do best. And so the thing is, having hired and fired and hired and fired and hired again many times over, now that AI is here, I can tell you the number one biggest challenge about a team is communication. And AI actually helps simplify communication for your team, especially if you're hiring VAs from maybe another country. I've had people from South Africa, I've had people from the Philippines, I've had, oh gosh, I can't even remember, Singapore was the other country that I've had VAs from. So, there's VAs that come in all different shapes and sizes. Some speak perfect English, other ones, English is, seriously their second language. And so communication gets even harder. But these people, they are hard workers and they get stuff done. They just need direction from you on what it is you need them to do. If you can't be clear about that, then no, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. And you're going to be like, oh, this VA is terrible. They're not even giving me what I want. It might not be that they're not giving you what you want. It might just be that there's a communication issue. So first things first, when it comes to having a team, you have team meetings, whether that's a once a week stand-up meeting for 10 minutes or a half-hour meeting a week or whatever. If you have one VA, 5 VAs, it's important to have those meetings, right? Because you want to make sure everybody's on the same page for the week for what you're doing. If you've ever gone to a meeting and you sat there with your pen and paper and took copious notes, which we all used to do, right? Think about that. You get done a meeting and then somebody says something, goes, oh yeah, what about this? What about that? I didn't even hear that. While you were busy writing something down, you missed something. So instead of having any of your team take notes, use an AI note taker for the meeting. And then give them the meeting summary so that they know and everybody's clear on exactly what was said, exactly what was expected, and exactly where you want to go with them this week. Summarize all the key decisions, action items, everything else that you have, especially who's responsible for doing what, right? Because, you don't want somebody to miss that little thing that is the real important thing because they were taking notes. AI note takers are fabulous now. I mean, they have come a long, long way. There's Otter AI, Read. Oh gosh, there's so many. Fathom. There's so many different ones. Zoom has an AI companion built right in. There are so many different note takers that you can get now that it makes it super simple to use AI to take notes and tell your team, I want your eyes focused here. I want 100% attention on me. You do not have to take notes. I will make sure you have all of the notes once we get done this meeting. And then that way, you've had their full attention the whole time. So that's number one. Number two, turn your voice notes into task lists. Now, if you aren't doing voice notes, I strongly suggest you start. I do voice notes all the time. If I'm out and about and something comes up, I'll just pick up my phone and I'll text myself a voice note as to what I want done or an idea I came up with or whatever. Take those voice notes and turn them into task lists. Now, here's the thing. When you type in on your computer, so say you type an email to your VA and you tell them what it is that you want them to accomplish this week. Maybe it's your social media. They're doing social media for you, for example. And you sit there and you type in, you say, here's what I'm looking for. Here's our theme of the week or whatever it is. Here's the core topic or the pain point, whatever it is that you're talking about. Here's all this stuff. And then you send it to them. Those written words are subjective a lot of times as to who reads them. So if you're not extremely clear with extremely step-by-step tasks on what they're supposed to do, chances are pretty good they're not going to do it exactly the way you want them to do it. And then you're going to say, well, why can't you get this right? And, or, you have to keep going back and you find yourself micromanaging all of the time. And it's not necessarily because they don't know what they're doing. It's because the communication signals got crossed. So if you talk out your notes, here's the task that I want you to do, and you talk that into AI, say, maybe you use ChatGPT. You can talk that, hit the little microphone on the prompt line, hit the microphone and talk it into the prompt box, what you want to do, and then tell ChatGPT to turn it into clear tasks with steps or maybe even a checklist or something like that, so that you have it exactly printed out, you have exactly what you want them to do. There is no question about what they're getting done. So that's for you. Flip it around. We're taking number 2 and making it an A and a B. Flip it around to your VAs. If your VAs especially are from another country and English is their second language, there are so many AI translator tools now. Have them tell you what it is that they're doing for you in their language and have AI translate it to make sure that they're understanding you correctly. That's a lot of the communication sometimes with VAs and teams is the language barrier. With AI, there doesn't need to be a language barrier because AI can translate pretty much any language. So just have them say it in their language and then have AI translate it, and you can ensure that you're on the same page. So same goes for your VAs. Put those voice tasks, use a voice note and then put that into AI, let it translate it. So you're giving them the tasks, they're giving you what it is that they're doing, what they think they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing, and they're getting it done, and they're getting it done correctly and faster because you're not going back and forth all these times, basically trying to make it clear what you want. The next one is, number 3, is to create shared prompts for your VA or assistant, okay? So maybe you have an assistant, maybe you have interns. So maybe you have interns, they're from your country, wherever that may be. And so the language is not a barrier, but still communication, everybody communicates differently. There's, the 4 main different types of personalities. And say, using like the DISC assessment where you have like the director, and I think it's the intellectual, social, my DISC people will have to correct me on that one. But you have different personality types, and different personality types hear things differently. So maybe your 2 personality types aren't the same. And so they're not really getting what it is that you want them to do. They're assuming. They're making a lot of assumptions going, okay, well, Regina told me I got to get this done. And then they bring it back and I'm like, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And they're like, okay, well, that's what I heard you ask for. It's not that they didn't know what to do or they screwed it up. It's not that at all. It's the communication wasn't there. So create shared prompts for your VA or assistant. Instead of explaining the tasks over and over again, create one prompt for things like that you have them do commonly, like writing drafts or creating some outlines or cleaning up your content. Anything that you need them to do, you can create that prompt and then you can share it with your VA so that they know exactly how you want to get things done. So share that prompt with them. Number 4 is draft responses once and reuse them. What do I mean by responses? If you've had a team of 1 or more or employees of 1 or more, I have had multiple of both in the past. Let's just say the same questions come up all the time. And your answer is generally all the same. And in order for you to save time, you could use AI to write a clear response to those common questions that you get all the time from your VA, save it. And then anytime that anybody comes back to you and says, okay, here's my question, you can say, yeah, just go check out this doc, go check out this template, go check out whatever it is, and just reuse that over and over and over again. So you don't have to keep re-explaining yourself or, re-explaining it to different people. So draft those responses once and then reuse them. Number 5, use AI to explain the tasks more clearly. So again, different personality types, different learning types, different production types. So how can you make something easier, more simple for them to follow? Again, this comes in big. If you have a team where the folks on your team, English is not the first language, because what they understand may not be what you meant at all. So simplify the language, organize the steps, and remove any confusion of what you want done. It makes for way less questions later on. So when you think about working with a team, AI actually helps you work more efficient with your team because everybody understands expectations, everybody is aligned, and most importantly for you, they're all working without constant check-ins. There's no micromanaging going around because you don't need it. Everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing and they do it well. You're hiring these folks to do what they do and you expect them to do it well. So just remember, if you have somebody that you're already working with and you're like, I'm thinking about replacing my VA, they're just not cutting it. Take a step back and consider, are they not cutting it because they don't know how to do what you want them to do? Or are they not cutting it because the communication wasn't clear as to what you actually wanted them to do? With that, you can feed what you want into AI, make sure it's crystal clear, then see how it turns out. So that's what I've got for you this week. It's the 5 simple ways to use AI for small teams. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.